What's good, budget fam? I'm back from vacation. That took a little bit more than I thought it was going to take. I'm sorry. I'm back now, though. So, last episode on 23, we had a giveaway, a secret giveaway. That's not part of the 1,000 sub giveaway. We have officially reached 1,000 subs, so I'm going to do a giveaway for that in the next video. Not this video. Next video, we'll have all the details for it and everything in the end of the seed harvest. So it'll be part 25. It'll be a nice round number too. So it ends with 5. So that's going to be where the rest of the giveaway is. I think Dale has contacted me. Hopefully that's Dale. I think that's Dale. And I think we're talking about he wants some auto seeds that will look like this. We're looking at the speedrun seeds. We got the Granite Haze 5. Wow, I don't think you see it. There you go. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. You probably can't. All right, well, it says Granite Haze F5 Fuel Pheno. So this is a special gift that Ben gave as part of ordering from him. So pretty limited drop. He wanted that. I think I'm going to also throw in this grease gun from Atlas Seeds. Let's see if we can see the info on that. Ooh, wait, there it is. So it's Chem Fuel Citrus, Autoflower Sativa, 80 days. He was talking about liking some autos. I kind of want to send him with like my favorite two. I want him to try a grease gun. I think he's going to really like that. So Dale, if you're watching and you feel like getting the speed run with the grease gun, you can have that as well. Since I'm gonna send you home with like 2 packs of seeds that are not my crosses, I might as well send you home with like at least one of mine, right? Crack it into this little black bottle. 5 of my beans as well. So I'll go ahead and do that. Get you 5 beans from my stash. I'll separately label these and you'll be able to tell that you got some grease guns from Atlas Seeds, some speedrun seeds. If that's what you would like to choose, you email me to double check because I don't want to give you something you don't want. I think you'd like the auto flowers. We're talking about it. And also the grease gun would be nice to throw you too. So, and we'll have 5 seeds from my stash for you. This will be a Mac 1 cross with a bag seed. I'll let you know what the bag seed was. I have no idea what the bag seed came from. Good afternoon, budget fam. We're back at it again. So this is the speedrun seeds. Looking like a monster. Got 2 little babies that just started. Because we chopped the blueberry cupcake and we chopped the violet vortex. So we got 2 little new babies. We're going to be moving her into the flowering tent, and these 2 will be in here for probably 3 weeks, and then we're gonna flower them quick. We're gonna do some quick flowering plants. We're gonna flower those a little bit earlier. We gotta do a little bit of cleanup on the bottom of the tent right there and whatnot. We'll do a whole cleanup on this whole thing. Humidity is a little low because I have the tent door open, but it was in the 50s before I popped it open. Yep, she's looking really good. All the tops are starting to pop out. Slight iron deficiency, that's iron, the light yellowing, but it's not dire, so I'm not gonna do too much about it. Oh wow. She's really starting to flower. She started to flower out of nowhere and she's going hard. She is not stopping. Non-stop flower. Oh man, I don't know about those lowers. She's asking me to get defoliated and I don't know if I really want to. I've been growing real lazy, like I don't want to do too much on these plants. Yeah, that's gotta go. I'm gonna be honest, like I normally don't want to do too much, so you guys could feel like you get similar results without doing too much work, but here, I just removed one. I just removed one fan leaf. This one guy. Not too many. Just removing one fan leaf. Kind of want to remove another two. But yeah. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. Not much going on in this except for a small mini update, guys. I'll have another video probably doing more information about drying. Alrighty, this plant's pretty much wrapping up. We're going to do a little test on her. We're going to try some STS spray. It probably won't work, but it might. We might get some pollen. I'm not even trying to get buds for her to sell herself, but I want this blueberry cupcake pollen because it flowers very fast. The speed of flowering is what I like about that plant. So maybe we could bring that genetic over to something else that's a little bit better and more potent. This is the Violet Vortex. Let's see if we can get a good shot of that. Whoop. Get the Violet Vortex. She's looking fine. Not amazing, just she look pretty good. At this point, I really had two main options. Option one was to continue to feed the plant because it needs things like potassium. You can see major signs of potassium deficiency. It needs nitrogen as well. But if I were to continue to feed her, she would finish in a longer time, as well as have to deal with mold issues from the plant possibly. I didn't trust any of it. I was ready to nuke the whole entire tent. So at this point, I was just going to chop her down. So we're not going to feed her anymore here. We're not even going to push her. We could have pushed her. We're not going to push her. And we'll chop her. We'll do a bud wash because I saw one nugget with what I thought was mold. Not 100% sure, but better safe than sorry. I've never done a bud wash. It's going to be a cool little video. What's going to happen is I'm going to probably remove almost all of this. I'm going to keep the very lowest stuff maybe. And we'll do an STS on her as well to see if she can get some pollen going. It's going to be nice. Alright, I'll see you guys. She just popped out the soil. Mr. Landrace right here. Really excited for that. Splat. Back at it again, my budget fam. We're back at it again, my budget fam. Alright, what's good, budget buds? This is the blueberry cupcake. I've been drying her. She's really lanky, so all these nugs are really far apart. But this would be around day 5. I'm going to give you some signs to look for and what to do. So prior to the other training video or other trimming video, when you're drying on around day 4 to 5, you're looking for, are the leaves crumbly? If they're crumbly, they'll make a snapping sound and fall off. When all the leaves, all the fan leaves reach this point, it's probably going to take until tonight. We're close though. Yeah, we're real close. What we want to do is we're going to remove all the fan leaves, but we're going to leave the sugar leaves. These frosty leaves, we're leaving those. Removing anything that's got the long purple stem. So probably around tonight, around 9, I'll go through with some trimmers and remove each one of the fan leaves. So that one on the left, that one on the right, anything that dangles. After that, I'm going to sweat these buds. So what's happened right now is the humidity is really low outside of the nug, but inside of the nug, there's still a bunch of humidity left. So like a steak, I'm going to let it rest. By letting it rest, I can draw the moisture out from the inside of the bud outward. The best way to do that is by slowly increasing the humidity so that the bud wants to bring the humidity from the inside of the bud to the outside really slowly without drying the outside out too quickly. By doing this, we're going to help the plant break down the chlorophyll in the leaves and in the plant matter. And by doing this, we will reduce the amount of hay or grassy taste. This is for flavor enhancement. So first of all, drying phase should take at least 7 days. The optimal temperatures and humidity are around 60% humidity and around 60 degrees Fahrenheit. You can go slightly above that as long as you don't go above 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That's usually when terpenes start to volatilize. Also, your sulfuric compounds will volatilize. Yeah. So these are the nuggies. When they're all wrapped up, they look pretty good like that. All of them look pretty good for the most part. But yeah, on the smaller side. I don't have a camera mount because it's holding me on right now. Good morning, budget buds. We're looking at a praying speedrun seeds mystery bean who's a bit too big. We got the 2 babies here. And we got the replacement for the violet vortex here. Nice. They're all going ham. Yeah, the temperatures were nice. Temps are around 78 and humidity 67, 69, somewhere between the two. I opened the door and slowly dropping right now. This was a plant that we trained with the clothes hangers. We can finally start noticing the inner nugs are appearing and creating more top sites. The canopy is slightly bowl shaped, so the inner side's a little bit sunken in, but it's not too bad. The Speedrun Seeds has pretty much a very even canopy. The back little top is a bit higher than everybody else, but other than that, she's looking great. I'm gonna show you some signs. She's got slight yellowing right there, slight greenness on the top. So when you see your tops, all the tops are light and lime green, but you're still seeing your leaves are kind of dark green. You're short on iron and not nitrogen. So she's showing slight signs of iron deficiency. I'm going to remedy that by feeding both these that CalMag solution that I just made. It's only 2 milliliters of CalMag, which is less than what they suggest by about half a milliliter. Not a big deal. Just a little bit less than what they suggest for feeding. Let's look at her real quick. Her leaves are curled up real strange like. I think it's possibly due to the fan down here that's blowing pretty directly on them. And here is the other plant. So this is the landrace, and that is the sugarcane. Alright, you guys, let's get to watering these. I probably won't show you that because I don't have my phone mount. I put it up for doing the drying of the other plant. So after I've trimmed all the fan leaves off and placed her into a sweating area, then I'll be able to have phone mount again. But until then, I will have to skip the watering phase because you guys don't want to see me holding this to water it from down there. Real quickly, so this is the Speedrun's mystery bean. When we were looking at her just not long ago, before I did the slight flushing, all these leaves are extremely dark green. Extremely dark green. We're currently seeing signs that she needs nutrients, and she's starting to get hungry. We can tell by the lower leaves that are showing slight yellowing and slightly different colors. It's a sign that we need to feed her. So when we do organics, most of the organic amendments will break down around day 35 to 30, where you have like almost nothing left in this soil. And your plants will start to consume themselves. One of the best things to do is to top dress your soil around day 28 to 30. I have not done that. I generally, if they're full and they are showing signs of toxicity, I won't feed until I start seeing those lower leaves have issues. I've got roughly 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. 3 days before she starts having problems if I absolutely feed her nothing. Roughly, is what I'd guess. Because she'll start cannibalizing these lower leaves, and whenever they're all cannibalized, she'll start losing vigor and problems up here. So, first things first is we were watering with the CalMag solution. We have a gallon of water with around 2 milliliters of CalMag in it. That's not going to solve the problem, but it will slow down the issue. What I'm going to do for a long-term fix is I'm going to go ahead and top dress this. I'll give it some alfalfa meal because it's a very low concentration. It won't burn the plant. Also, this stem right here is larger than that stem, and this plant is way younger. Anyways, let's go ahead and grab some alfalfa meal. I'll turn off the fan so that we're not blowing it around. Grab the alfalfa real quick. The alfalfa meal is a 2.32. This is alfalfa meal I use. Beef organic stuff. There's one more fan I have to turn off. It's a little box fan I have going. Awesome. So the application rate for this is generally 2 tablespoons per gallon, but I'm going to only give 1. And that's a 3-gallon pot. So I'm going to need roughly 3 scoops. 1 goes in. I'm going to use my hands to really work it in later. There's 1. And there's 2. The thing with this alfalfa meal, you're probably not going to see me get it. I'm going to have to move these leaves or something. But anyways. And here's a third one for a 3-gallon pot. 3 tablespoons. Yeah. So alfalfa meal takes roughly 3 to 4 weeks to break down. So this will not be helping the plant very much until the end of flower. Alrighty. Once you get your dry amendments onto the pot, one of the best things to do is to cover it up using the soil that's on the top layer. So I'm going to work this into the top layer of the soil by going back and forth. Moving my hand back and forth, almost like a rubbing motion. I'm going to do that until I spread the alfalfa meal pretty much evenly across the top. You get some in that corner. Oops. You get some in the back corner. Alrighty. Once you've worked in the alfalfa meal, you can water her in. So I'm going to go wash my hands and I'll be back. Quick little tent anatomy. There's a rectangular square on the outside of your tent. You can use that for letting air in. Budget. Looking damn good. Looking damn good. see. What's good, budget buds? I want you guys to get to see some early shots of those tops. Let's get some early shots of the tops. Let me get like a 5-second clip for you guys somewhere in this conjumbled mess. Yeah, speedruns is going so ham, it's kind of crazy. She went a little too hard, is all I'm saying, bros. She went a little too hard. Early signs of pistils, and early signs of being a purple flowering candidate. Purple phenotype. Some expressions of that. Let's see. Still some minor deficiencies. Some sulfur, specifically. We got some Epsom salt. We're gonna hit her up with some Epsom salt probably tomorrow. I watered these a bit. I'm keeping her on the dry side. Hopefully she doesn't drink too much. If I don't feed her too much, maybe she'll stay small for longer. Give me some time to clean out this tent and finish out the project outside. But that'd be dope. And now I'm gonna have to see you guys later. Deuce, deuce. Once we're done with the little preliminary trimming, just the removal of pretty much all the fan leaves that are long and they'll have purple petioles. After removing all that, this is what we're left with. So I'm gonna have, there's a few methods to do this. You use mason jar, plastic tote if your harvest is large enough, or just gallon bags. Like if you have like a large gallon bag, you could throw all these nugs. I'm going to trim them off of the branches. All these branches need to be trimmed off. And once I trim off all these little branches, all the nugs on each branch, I won't have all this stem to work with. But ideally, in most cases, you keep some of the stem because moisture is retained in the stem and it will kind of store the moisture there as it leaves the bud. And then over time, the stem releases the moisture back into the nug. But we already did really good on that. And now we're going to do a quick little debucking, is what we call it, where we remove all the buds from the branches and we're going to move it into a gallon bag. But for me, I think I'm going to use this plastic tote down here. So you guys might not get to see that part. Yeah, those are fan leaves down there. Yep. Just a big pile of fan leaves. But anyways, I think after you guys got to see a cute little time lapse, I'll probably save the sweating video for another episode, I'm going to be honest. This is the nice trimming episode. This is a good how to dry, when you know your plants are dry and sweating. Yeah. This is the blueberry cupcakes finished product. I could totally remove some more sugar leaves, and I will before I smoke it. But for storage reasons, I like leaving a few tiny little sugar leaves to kind of protect the nugs from both sunlight and from air. It's like a little protective coating I like to leave on the outside sometimes. But I don't leave any of the long fan leaves. Like that one's a little bit long. So that one's got to go. But not going to stress about getting it all perfect. Or you have a big old pile right there. Some other nugs. But it's really nice to enjoy a variety of bud. Definitely harvested her a bit early. If I let her go probably like an extra week, I would have gotten a lot more yield. Probably 2 weeks would have gotten me to a lot more yield. But sometimes life pressures you into chopping. I'm sorry, Budget Fam. Unfortunately, I somehow lost the clip. Well, I'd have the clip, but it's corrupted for me chopping this plant. So just imagine at the end of this video that this plant is chopped and hung because we're going to do a bud wash on it immediately after. So you'll see it get bud washed. I just won't let you see me bring the axe to it. Alrighty, what's good, Budget Fam? This is a bud washing tutorial, I guess, a little vlog-like style. I used one part of this, and well, 1.5. I used 1.5 bottles, and I used about 4 of these bottles worth of water. So I've diluted it to roughly 1/3, roughly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these nuggies. We're going to dunk it into the hydrogen peroxide, this is how hydrogen peroxide mix. We'll drop it into the mix. We'll shake it around. Make sure she's coated. Then we clean off the hydrogen peroxide with normal water. We got drip dry. So I'm gonna have to find a little area or like a rack to put these on, and then I'm gonna use a box fan to dry them completely. But this is now cleaned and no more mold spores. I've got a little drying rack now. So we'll place all these directly onto the drying rack. I have parchment paper lined with a pan. That's all it is. So we'll do that with every single one of these buds to make sure that we don't have any mold spores. Because earlier in the grow, we found a few culprits, like 1 or 2 nugs that looked like they were a little bit sus. So it'd be better to be safe than sorry. I'm gonna need some trimmers just in case we need to break these branches down into 2 sections. I'm looking at these nugs. I don't see any mold, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And it's in a garage, and sometimes you get like fungus gnats. So I don't normally bud wash, but for this one, so these nugs we've been working on need to get dried up. So the best way to do that is we're going to be placing it onto this drying rack that I fashioned up from a phone mount. And then we're going to put a box fan on it. So. Alrighty, so we just got our budget little box fan for like 13 bucks. Drying these off. That's all we're doing. Just blasting them with some wind. And hopefully the hydrogen peroxide would take care of any mold spores that were possible. So during the dry and curing phase, I won't have to worry as much. And if there was any buggies like fungus gnats, we got rid of them. So I'll probably leave the fan on for 12 hours to 24 hours. I'll probably come back after 24 hours and then we'll turn off the fan to see the moisture levels of everything. But this being the first time I bud washed, it wasn't that bad. It seemed easy. I didn't use any baking soda or lemon juice, but I don't think those things are necessary when you're using hydrogen peroxide. So it was an interesting little experiment. Hopefully this all turns out well and I don't get mold all over my nugs. Adios. Alrighty, so it's been roughly 2 hours or so. These nuggets are starting to dry out. There's some moisture left, but it's not as much as it was before. We gotta do what we gotta do to prevent any mold. Because we saw some mold spores on one of the plants. We're going to clean every single nug to make sure they're not dirty. All right, we out. Thanks for all your support, everyone who's watching my videos. Please subscribe if you can. Remember, stay litty, and special thanks to our members who will be not applicable right now. Goodbye.